All right, guys, I'm actually kind of weirdly excited to share this one with you. This is another one that was sent in from Nick at Exquisite Timepieces. All the contact information down below in the description, like usual. Let them know I sent you. Let's get into this watch. And I'm just going to blast out the sizes real quick, and then we'll talk about the watch. So I took a few measurements, but I mean, really, it's 41 millimeter, okay? So the width, we're just going to say it's 41 millimeter. The lug to lug is 48. You can see it's actually pretty flat looking off the mid case here. Slight turn down on the lugs there, but not a whole lot. You have a nice oversized crown. That's 8 millimeter. And then the thickness of this is actually 14 millimeter. 22 millimeter lug width. And a very interesting design, I think, when you look at it. At first, when I first started looking at these, I don't know. I wasn't into them. But the more I read about them, the more I looked at them, there's still not a whole lot special about them, other than they are made in Italy. And the price points are actually reasonable. But the design actually started to grow on me. The simplicity of it and how beastly and all brushed and utilitarian it is, but yet it still has some look to it that is familiar. You know, the triangle, the circles, the bars, and then they went with a different kind of handset, obviously, but then in the center part, matched the black of the hands to the dial, kind of looks like floating hands. No markings on the bezel. Who does that on a dive watch? That's silly, right? It doesn't make any sense. But it's a design. It's a fashion watch. It's not meant to be a dive watch. Now they do have some models with markings on the bezel because it is an actual 300 meter water depth rating, and it has a nice 120 click bezel action with a nice coin edge on there for grip, both on the bezel and on the crown. So it has all the elements. They went for a different design. And now they have other offerings. They even have some watches that are more of like a field watch with no bezel. I'm excited to check out more from the brand once I can get my hands on it. They even have some titanium models. This one has the Seiko NH movement in it, but they do have some with Swiss movement in it. And like I said, these are made in Italy, which is actually pretty cool. I don't own any watches that are made in Italy. This one proudly says it right on the dial. Made in Italy. And actually all the text is down on the lower portion too, leaving the watch almost sterile looking if it wasn't for that text. So pretty interesting design, just like the bezel sterile and everything. So case back is not. The case back actually has quite a bit of text on there. If we take a look at that. And this is it's on here somewhere. I'm not sure where it says it. But this is actually the U1 Classic. And this is probably one of the most affordable ones. The tag on the watch actually says $695, but if you go to the Exquisite Timepieces website, it says $550. Now, at the $550 mark, now we're talking. You know, we have sapphire crystal, we have really robust design, very interesting look to it, that in the watch enthusiast community, if this is on your wrist and it's across the room, most people know what a Unimatic look like, that are watch enthusiasts, that is, and they're going to be able to spot this across the room. Does that mean anything? No, but being a brand that's recognized should mean something. I think that's what most brands try to achieve to a certain extent. So I think it's pretty cool. Let's pop this on my 7¼ inch wrist. I'm not a huge fan of the NATO, and I don't know what I would do. Maybe a two-piece strap, or I'm not sure what I would do, but I think there are some models that have two-piece rubber straps with them. So I would maybe be interested in those. But here it is on my 7¼ inch wrist. It does have a nice weight to it, but I think it looks great. I dig it. I like the clean look of it, but yet it's still my favorite style of watch, dive watch. So, I mean, it's a dive style watch. All right, we do have C3 lume on this thing, so the lume is going to be really good. Let's kill the lights, check the lume on this thing. And if you're interested in a Unimatic, hit up my buddy Nick down at Exquisite Timepieces. Check it out. Really good loom. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.